So we'll start with downloading the dependencies. We are going to use pip install for this. So before doing that, we need to create a virtual environment. That is a best practice we should always follow. So let's create, sorry for the typo. Let's create a virtual environment using venv. So I'll name it dbt-env. All right. Now you can simply activate it by using source. All right, so we are in virtual environment, dbt-env that we have created. Now we need to install two major components. So the first one is DBT-core, and the second one is the connector which we are going to use. So in our case, we are going to create DBT models on top of Postgres. So we will be using Postgres, but you can use Snowflake, Redshift, BigQuery. There are so many connectors available, and all the documentation is available on the DBT website. So let's quickly show you how to install DBT-core. So we will, like I said, we will be using pip install. We're doing DBT-core and DBT Postgres. So I'm going to install these two dependencies. All right, it should take typically a few minutes. All right, so this is done. So we can also check by doing DBT version. So it will show you which DBT core version and which DBT Postgres version we have installed. All right. So that's with the installation. Now we have DBT available. So the next step is initializing DBT. So that can be very easily done by dbt init. And this will initialize the DBT. Let's give a name of our project. So it will be dbt test. We can enter the connector, the one we want to select. We have to do setup as well. So I'm going to quickly jump to the Postgres section now, show you how to install Postgres locally, and then we are going to come back to this and do this step. Let's go to the official site of Postgres, and we can see that I'm using Mac M2, so I can download 15, 14 or 16. So I'll try to download the latest one. So let's go here and try to download the latest version of Mac OS. So it's going to take a while. Once the download has finished, we will get started from there. So Postgres is downloaded. So let's go and try to install Postgres. Let's give some password and run it on a port 5432. That should be ideal. Let's run it on 5433 since that's not available, but that should not be a problem. Let's keep default locale. Let's install. It's preparing to install. Alright, so Postgres has been installed on our system. Let's see how we can go to application, and we have Postgres 13 and 16 both installed. So let's try to open Postgres 16. So I can go to Postgres admin. So it's trying to verify before it opens. Alright, so Postgres has started. It's waiting for pgadmin to start. Alright, so Postgres admin has started. Let's open Postgres admin here side by side. So that's our server. So we can try to connect to, let's try to connect to Postgres 16. We have given our password, so this should start the server. We should have a database, Postgres. So we can start with this, or if needed, we can just create a new database. So let's create a new database and we can call it sample. Let's save this. And this is what we will be using in DBT. So we are back to DBT. So we installed a Postgres server locally. We can use any server. You may use dev server, production server, whichever you have. Since I wanted to show all the setup locally, that's why I installed a Postgres server locally. So let's enter the host name. So since it's installed locally, it's localhost. We have Postgres running on 5433 because 5432 was occupied by another version of Postgres. Let's give a dev username. It is admin. Sorry, it should be Postgres, and the password, what I have entered. So we'll be building a sample. No schema name. So let's give a schema name also, sample schema name. Let's give 5 threads. Threads is like multi-threading, like how many will be executing on parallel. So that's it. So typically, whenever we create this target profile, so it's basically written in the .dbt folder. So I'll show you exactly where it is. So let's see this. So we are currently in this directory. So this we will use to come back. So you can just go to your root folder. Here you can find .dbt, and inside this, if you list, you will see profiles.yaml. So if we do cat in profiles.yaml, you'll find typically all the connection that you have provided. So this is the password I've provided, this is the local host, and that's it. So let's go back to our root where we were running DBT. So just do this. So here what we can do, we can enter in DBT test. So DBT test is where DBT is running. You can also see it here. So this is DBT test. So the first thing we can do to check whether our connection works perfectly is DBT debug. So let's do DBT debug. So you can see all connections passed. So if you give the credentials to your production, your dev servers, this should typically pass. So this means that all the connection is done, everything is set. We are ready to write models in DBT.